You can no longer buy a V8-engined Audi R8, the second generation comes with one engine option only, no bad thing when it's a naturally aspirated 5.2-liter V10.
But you can buy that engine in two power levels, the regular 533 bhp R8 V10 or the 602 bhp R8 V10 Plus, both available in either a coupe or a soft-top spider body.
So far we've published reviews of the V10 Plus Coupe, which we've also run as a long-term test car, the regular R8 V10 Spider and the V10 Plus Spider, which leaves one gap, the regular, non-plus, nonplussed?
Audi R8 V10 Coupe.
Earlier this year, we drove from the UK to the Nürburgring 24 hours race and back in just such a car. Here's an account of how it stacked up as a Grand Tourer.
See our photo diary from the 2017 Nürburgring 24 hours here.
Audi R8, the basics.
The MK2 R8 was launched in 2015, replacing the much-loved original that had been around since 2006.
It's twinned with the Lamborghini Huracan, sharing the same high-revving engine and aluminium/composite platform. Said engine is probably one of the last of its kind. We're unlikely to see many more mainstream supercars with a cylinder count in double digits, cubic capacity starting with a 5, and without turbochargers. This time there's no manual version, all R8s using a 7-speed twin-clutches tronic gearbox, and all cars are all-wheel drive, although very much rear-biased.
Emptying a little interesting mud into the waters, from early 2018 another, limited edition version called the R8 RWS joins the range. The odd name sounds like rear-wheel steering, but actually stands for rear-wheel series - it'll be rear-wheel drive.
That makes the car tested here, the R8 V10 Coupe, the cheapest, relatively speaking, route into all-wheel drive R8 ownership.
In a previous diary entry in our long-term Audi R8 V10 Plus test, I compared the Plus back-to-back with a regular V10 and in many ways I still believe the more affordable model is actually the better road car.
Its wavy steel discs are less oversensitively grabby than the ceramics from Cold, making it easier to drive smoothly around town, and they're still plenty powerful when you need them. The regular car's pop-up spoiler lies flush with the tail when it's not deployed, which looks a little subtler than the fixed carbon ironing board on a Plus, and you probably won't miss the stiffer suspension on UK roads. When you do miss with the regular V10 Plus his bragging rights, it's slower from 0 to 62 miles per hour, 3.5 seconds for the V10 versus 3.2 for the V10 Plus, and a top speed, 199 miles per hour versus 205, if that matters to you.
How good is the R8 at being a long-distance tourer?
Over short distances, the 8 South African Rand is surely one of the most user-friendly supercars there's ever been.
No speed bump is too high, no parking space too tight, no weather too foul.
My main reservations about a long trip, based on many long motorway schleps in our long-termer, is the seat's lack of lumbar support, and the seriously small boot.
Compared with a Porsche 911, a McLaren Sports Series, or even a Ferrari 488, all of which have genuinely sizable frunks. The space under the R8's bonnet really is tight, probably partly because of the extra set of drive shafts up front.
I've previously had to drive our long-termer with bags belted into the passenger seat alongside me, but for the Nürburgring trip the R8's boot actually managed to swallow multiple squashy bags as well as photographer Tom Chapman's gear, without having to squeeze too much of it onto the luggage shelf behind the seats.